And Jesus said, "Look, the sower went out, took a handful of seeds, and scattered them. Some fell on the road, and the birds came and gathered them. Others fell on rock, and they did not take root in the soil, and did not produce ears. Others fell among thorns, and they choked the seeds, and worms ate them. Others fell on good soil, and it produced good fruit. It bore 60 per measure, and 120 per measure." I would like to tell you a story now based on this saying. It's actually saying number 9 from the Gospel of Thomas. It's beautiful words of Jesus. I've put it into a story format that I hope will help explain it and entertain you. The city woke up slowly on Saturdays. Delivery trucks rumbled over potholes. A street vendor poured steaming coffee into paper cups. A child tugged at her mother's arm on the way to the laundromat. Through it all, Maya walked with a quiet purpose. Her canvas tote bag was heavy on her shoulder, filled not with groceries or books, but with small envelopes of seeds: lavender, cherry tomatoes, sunflowers tall enough to brush the sky. Most people knew her as that plant lady, but Maya saw herself differently, as a sower. She believed that beauty in life could take root anywhere, even in places people had given up on. She began on 8th Street, where the sidewalk was a patchwork of cracks and gum stains. The air smelled faintly of diesel from the buses that roared by every 10 minutes. Maya knelt near the bus stop and pressed a few seeds into the dirt lodged between slabs of concrete. A man in a navy suit watched her, holding his coffee. "You know, those aren't going to grow here, right?" he said. Maya just smiled. "Maybe not, but I like to give them a chance." Minutes later, pigeons swooped down, pecking the seeds away. The man smirked and boarded his bus. Maya moved on without a word. 2 blocks over, she passed the abandoned parking lot behind a rundown strip mall. The asphalt had crumbled in spots, revealing patches of dusty gravel. A few stubborn weeds had claimed the space. Maya crouched and pushed her fingers into the thin soil between the stones. She dropped in marigold seeds and brushed gravel over them. For a week, little green shoots reached for the sun, but then came the heat wave. 5 days of relentless 100-degree air. Without water, the seedlings curled and turned brittle, scattering in the wind. On her way to the community center, Maya passed the old Peterson house. Its yard a tangle of thorny vines, beer cans, and rusted bicycles. The thorns were sharp enough to snag her sweater, but she tossed a handful of zinnia seeds over the fence anyway. When she passed by a month later, she saw the seedlings pushing through the soil, only to be strangled by the vines. She pulled a few thorns out, but there were too many to clear, so she prayed silently and walked on. Finally, she arrived at the community garden tucked between 2 tall apartment buildings. It smelled of basil and fresh earth. Neighbors tended their plots with care, trading tips about composting and swapping cucumbers for bell peppers. Here, the soil was deep and rich from years of work. Maya knelt and pressed sunflower seeds into the dirt, covering them gently, then watering each one. Over the summer, the garden transformed. Green gave way to gold and red sunflowers towering over children's heads, tomato vines heavy with fruit, bees moving lazily from bloom to bloom, and by harvest, there was more food than the neighborhood could eat. Boxes of fresh produce lined the community center steps, free for anyone in need. Now, one warm afternoon, as Maya handed out cucumbers to a group of kids, a boy named Elias asked, "Miss Maya, why do you plant seeds in the sidewalk and the parking lot? Why not just put them here in the garden, where they'll grow?" Maya paused, then reached into her bag and placed a single sunflower seed in Elias's palm. "Because the ground can change," she said. "Concrete cracks, rocks can be cleared, weeds can be pulled out. And sometimes a seed that looks lost finds a way to grow. My job is to plant. God makes things grow." Elias looked at the seed and didn't say anything, but the way he held it told her the lesson had been learned. And that's how it is with the message of Jesus. His words go into all kinds of hearts: the hard, the shallow, the tangled, and the ready. Some seeds take root right away. Some take years. Some grow only after the ground has been broken, softened, and cleared by His love. So, friends, keep planting kindness, keep sharing your faith, and keep sowing the seeds of the gospel. Because one day, even the unlikeliest ground might surprise you, and the harvest will bless more people than you can count. So, God bless you, my friends.